Much like you listening to this, I really liked playing Toilet Tower Defense. But also I've realized there's a lot of misinformation going on, a lot of YouTube videos coming up that just straight up aren't true, and it's leaving thousands of people just like freaking out and unsure about what the heck is going on. So this video is going to cover everything from the first issue of what happened here with Toilet Tower Defense up to the latest news on when I'm recording it, the night of September 24th. In the early hours on September 20th, Telanthric, who is the developer of the game, posted a video saying, "I got copyright strike by Defuk Boom." At the time, he received 2 copyright strikes. For those of you who don't know, when you hear copyright strike or when you hear DMCA, it just means that someone else is striking another piece of content, which could be for a multitude of reasons. But it mainly focuses around things being stolen allegedly, or someone feeling that the other person is using something that they don't approve of that they created. In this case, the issue is Toilet Tower Defense is using models that are based off of Defuk Boom's Skibbity Toilet series. But there's a lot of confusion over what this means. So Defuk Boom, as far as I know, has used assets. When I say assets, it just means designs and stuff like that. Assets from Valve and Steam, which were free and available to others. So the suits and all that you see in his animations, he didn't make those from scratch, right? He just put those pieces of a puzzle together to make the animations. So theoretically, those should be free to use, and Telanthric ideally shouldn't have been copyrighted because of it, but there's a slippery slope to this. There's 2 ways to look at this. You can talk about it in a legal way, and you can talk about it in a more realistic way. Legally, yes, Telanthric did use this very similar designs that were shown in the Skibbity Toilet series. However, legally, those assets were free for him to use. But because this is an unbiased perspective, we have to look at Defuk Boom's point of view. He has seen millions and millions and millions of views of success with his Skibbity Toilet series, and if he sees a Roblox game become wildly successful and he knows generates a lot of money, some people are going to take offense to that because, once again, legally, Telanthric did not use anything that he wasn't allowed to use. But even if you love Toilet Tower Defense, you gotta, look at both sides and see how it could anger Defuk Boom because it is, based off of his animation. I still don't think he should have been copyright struck for it. But yeah, so he got 2 copyright strikes and posted that video on September 20th, so we can assume that the copyright strikes came maybe a day before that. And around a day later, he mentioned that he got a 3rd copyright strike. Now, when you get a 3rd copyright strike on YouTube, you have 7 days and then your channel gets terminated if nothing gets resolved. And regardless of, how you feel, you gotta feel bad for Telanthric because he's spent years on this and this is his livelihood, and I'm sure this is something that he was planning on making a big part of his future in order to support himself. And as of today, his channel's still up and he's still fighting things, but then kind of the hammer dropped, which I don't think a lot of us really thought was going to happen, but we should have seen it coming. On September 22nd, Friday, Toilet Tower Defense was put under review. Now, this doesn't mean it was deleted, right? Being placed under review just means that, think of it as it's in a little holding area. It's in this middle ground where, okay, if it doesn't get things fixed and things worked out how it should, if there's no resolution, then yeah, it can be deleted. But if things are changed, if things are agreed on that became issues, then it can come back online, hence the under review. At this point, Inhi, who is one of the community managers on Discord, mentioned, he said, "We are aware of what happened to our game. We're working on solutions to resolve this issue." The main thing is what he mentioned about 10 minutes afterwards, saying your data is saved if we get the game back online. So to all those watching this, I know there's a lot of confusion. If and when Toilet Tower Defense comes back online, all your mythics, all your whatever, your coins, your gems, they will be there. So no one's going to have to start over. But this sent the Toilet Tower Defense Discord in a frenzy. The general chat for Toilet Tower Defense just became an absolute war zone of people freaking out, people, taking sides. I felt like I'd have to go in there with like a hazmat suit or something if I wanted to read the general chat for a while. And even to this day, it is still kind of freaking out, and people come in every second saying the game's deleted, spreading misinformation. People come in and say, oh, the game's back online. They're just trolling, obviously. And every time they get 2 or 3 people be like, wait, really? So yeah, it's not the best situation. We're going to talk about the future of it soon, but on September 23rd, I Am Evan, which is one of the developers developers of the game, saying that anyone saying the game is gone is not true. The game might still come back. So they are actively working on things. During this same time, the community manager, was tweeting out on September 22nd that he's trying to sort out some type of deal with Dafuk Boom. Now, allegedly, it seems like Dafuk Boom wants to get some sort of money compensation for this game, which I tried to explain his point of view earlier on why that makes sense. So I'm sure there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know in terms of them negotiating. So there's two paths that this could go down. The first path in the game returning is that they could settle a deal with Dafuk Boom to where he gets paid X amount of money, X amount of percentage of the money that the game makes, and then the game can stay up as normal. So all the models can remain the same, all the names can remain the same, and the game can generally remain how you and I remember. The other option, which I think is much more likely, is that the developers, Telanthric, and all those guys will have to work for a few days to change the models, to really change everything about the game so that there's no sign of toilets or anything recognizable. CKev, who you guys might know, was working on a game called Toilet Invasion, which was a Plants vs. Zombies style game regarding the Skibidi Toilet series. And actually, the day I'm recording this, he updated the game to change so many things. His animations, which were once toilets, are now looking different, and he changed the names to a lot of different units in the game. I'll give you a few examples. The TV woman was changed to Flying TV. The jetpack cameraman was changed to Jetpack Man. The scientist cameraman was changed to Scientist Ray Gun. The surveillance woman was changed to Surveillance Car. I mean, you guys get the idea. Basically, how this works is anything related to, cameramans or speakers or anything like that is gone, and all the animations in the game no longer revolve around toilets. Now, his game was never taken down, but he's doing this just as a safety measure, which is why I think that's what's going to happen with Toilet Tower Defense. I do expect the game to go through a few days of silence just so they can change all of the models and stuff. But will you guys still play this game, even if it's not related directly to the meme anymore? This is why I'm making this video. It's annoyed me seeing some videos that have popped up regarding Toilet Tower Defense because they're flat out lying. Unfortunately, a lot of kids are getting clickbaited into thinking that, streamers are currently playing the game or the game's coming back, when in reality, we don't know yet. There's not really substantial information as of me recording this that says one way or the other. So it bugs me when I see, certain videos claim that the game is back, and then kids get, they get clickbaited and they fall for it, and that leads to a lot of, once again, the general chat on Discord going sicko mode, and not in a good way. It's really cringe sometimes. I'm just curious, and I don't know how you guys feel. This game, I think this game, from a player's point of view, regardless of what it's based off of, is pretty fun. I mean, I like it. I was always a fan of tower defense games anyways, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. But I mean, this game once peaked over 200,000 players on September 15th for the first time. And when you have a game that's based off of something as crazy popular as a super popular meme series, how much does it really rely on that meme series to survive? If the game does come back and it has nothing to do with toilets anymore, I'm still gonna play it and post content, but that's because that's what I like posting content on. Now, you guys as the players, I'm curious, will you still be interested in this game? So the truth is now, once again, as of recording this, it is not coming back right now. We don't really have a date or many ideas. I've spoken with some moderators privately off of the Toilet Tower Defense Discord, and moderators don't know when it's coming back. This is really between Telanthric, the community managers, and Dafuk Boom. So it is really a waiting game on, how long we can see until this game gets back. And what I hope is, if the game comes back, in whatever state it does, I really hope Telanthric strikes go away on his YouTube channel, because, that's really sad for anyone to deal with. There's also certain parties like, Roblox. I don't know how their copyright strike staff works at all. Not too aware of that. I am new to Roblox, believe it or not, with this YouTube channel, as if it's a few weeks old. But you got to keep in mind, Roblox also has to approve the game. There was also a lot of confusion. Some people were claiming it was a fake Dafuk Boom that was going around copyright striking. People said that because in one of the clips shown on Telanthric's copyright video, which did get deleted, by the way, one of the letters was lowercase in Dafuk Boom's name, and people thought that it was a different person. But I have received confirmation that from community managers that I've spoken to that, yes, it is him, and they are speaking with him, the real one personally. So I don't know if it was a good sign that Talanthric took down his tweet and his YouTube video talking about his copyright strikes, but I think it is simply because that means they're working towards something and it's not just, you know, dead in the water yet. But no, as of the night of September 24th, you cannot play this game. If you go into the Toilet Tower Defense Discord, do not be fooled from people saying that you can play this game, because there will be the only place that you need to look if you're wondering where this needs, you know, when this game is going to come back, is the community tab on Toilet Tower Defense's Discord. That is where the main updates will be. Don't believe the general chat. It's not good for your mental health. So I hope I taught you something in this video that maybe you were unsure about. I'm going to end this just with more of my opinion. And none of this is any legal advice, by the way. I'm obviously just commentating on the situation in general, which is fine. I think Toilet Tower Defense is a fun game. I do think that if they do have to change the models and stuff, the player count will drop a little bit. I don't think it will actually kill the game if they come back and like there's no more toilets and stuff looks different, because people still like playing that same game. But if the peaks are at like, you know, 150,000 players, I would not be surprised if they started going down to like peaks of like 120k, 110k, just because I know a lot of people like it based off the meme. And then you wonder, what is the game's updates gonna look like? Are they gonna update, like, let's say in a new episode of Defuk Boom's channel, if there's this new like Titan, they can't really put that into the game the next day. Are they going to put something similar that kind of doesn't look like it in the... I mean, there's a lot of questions, you know? So I do think that's going to hurt the game's popularity, but like I said before, I think that's more likely than Talanthric and them just giving Defuk Boom X amount of money to keep it how it is, because that can get pricey, obviously. I want nothing more than this game to succeed. Obviously, I love posting it. You guys have loved my videos, and they've gotten quite amount of an attention, which I'm really grateful for. So whatever fashion this game comes back, if it does come back, I'm gonna stick with it. But I'm just warning you guys to not believe everything you see at face value. Really just worry about the community tab on that Discord. If it's not from Talanthric or community manager, or if you can't just click on the game yourself, don't believe anything fully yet, because we don't know yet. Just know that there's a lot going on behind the scenes and that they're not just sitting on their hands doing nothing. I'm sure there's a lot of communication, and hopefully this game can get back up to date, and you know, every party can be satisfied, including the developers and Defuk Boom. And if it does come back, I'm excited on what the game would look like and what the updates are going to look like. And I trust that the developers will still keep the game alive, even if they can't base it strictly off the animated series. So yeah, I know this is different from my normal videos, but I wanted to give you guys just more of a honest and truthful, you know, idea of what's going on in maybe your favorite game, because there's a lot of misinformation being spread no matter where you're at, and that bothers me. So if you're new here, hey, I'll post this game if it comes back, so hopefully you can subscribe and stick around for that. Appreciate y'all for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.